In this video, I'm going to show you how to create incredible multi-lined collage papers using a very unusual art tool, a root comb applicator. Never heard of this? Me neither, until I saw another artist create these fabulous and fast papers on Instagram. Please check out more from this artist from the link I provided under the word more below this video. If you see value in my demos, I would deeply appreciate a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe to my channel below. Links for all the supplies to make these multi-lined papers are down below under the word more. And while you're there, you might also want to check out my free 5-lesson online workshop, Collage Kickstart, where I teach you how to use all the collage papers taught during Tune In Tuesday to make fabulous collages the very first try. So let's get into creating gorgeous multi-lined collage papers. The supplies for this demo are super easy. You're going to use what is known as a root comb applicator. You need some paint, and you need it to be fairly thin. I use Nova acrylic paint for this. You can also use Liquitex, anything that has a fairly thin consistency to it. You also need a funnel to get your paint into these bottles. Now you might recognize this funnel. It was part of my easy marble demo. All you do is you unscrew the top, stick in the funnel, and I'm actually going to use some pre-mixed paint, although this is actually mixed from two of my primaries that I use for all of my papers, which is Phthalo Blue-Green shade, Hansa Yellow Light, and a little white mixed in. So I thought it'd be fun to make these with some apple green, which is one of my favorite colors to work with. Screw it on tight. Now I've already filled this one with black, and I've got some other pre-made colors. So I think I'm just going to mix whatever I have left, kind of stored from other demos, into my third bottle. Let's see what I get. I got another, quite a bit in there. I'm just going to shake this one up just a little bit. I think the variegation in colors might be interesting. The other supply you need for this is just paper, and you can absolutely use any paper in your stash. So I pulled out some copy paper, and that's where I'm going to start. And I'm just going to play with my black just to kind of get a feel for this. So make sure it's tightly secure, and you need to get the paint down into this area. So I'm just going to shake it a little bit. And then you just squeeze and play. So here we go. Now, was that cool or what? What's really interesting is that you can see there's some three-dimensionality there. So when that dries, that 3-dimension will actually show up. And for me, this is a really effective piece of collage fodder because it's neutral. I can cut it up into little pieces, and it will go really beautifully next to any paper that I put it down next to. Let's just try a few with the black before I move on to color. You know, this is like scribbling. Well, it is scribbling. I mean, there's a million designs you can make with this. In fact, I could do this for hours. And one more just for fun. Gosh. So gorgeous. Just love how dimensional that is. So I've pulled out just interesting old papers. This is actually a birth certificate from a relative. Let's see what this would look like. Now I've forgotten what color I even put in here, so this will be fun. So you may have to make sure that the paint has gotten down here. So shake it a bit and then just squeeze. Ooh. Oh, fabulous. The more designs you come up with this fascinating, simple tool. And I just love these simple swirls. Wow. So just so you know, I now have my entire studio floor covered with these papers, because once you start, let me tell you, you don't want to stop, because this is child's play and it makes such effective, gorgeous collage papers. Just to show you how obsessed I became with these papers, they are literally covering my studio floor, as well as covering my art table and my side table. Like, everything is covered and a little bit disastrous. So the next project is actually to clean everything up. My papers are all dry now, and I have got an enormous stack of these. And what's interesting is that these only took maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes total to create this huge stack, because they're so easy to make. Even though they're easy, they are going to be stunning, stunning collage papers. So this particular page I love. However, I'm not going to use this entire page in a collage. What I'm going to do is cut out a little part of it, like that little square right there. So I'll use maybe bold lines and maybe these kind of light lines together as a collage element, or just the bold lines. So I'll cut out little pieces of this. Same thing for this one. I love this overall design, but more than likely this entire page won't go into a collage. I'll be using maybe this swirl right here. I think this element right there might be a really cool collage element. Same thing with this. Love, love, love this particular design, but I'm not going to put this into the collage. I'm going to put maybe that little piece into a collage. So these will get cut up in different segments depending on what a collage needs. Same thing with this. Love that, but more than likely I would cut that, or maybe cut a little piece of that and put it as a collage element. Now, these black and green ones I'm pretty in love with. One, this stripe right here is kind of like the scrape paper. I have another demo on that. So that would be a really beautiful collage element. As with this, you can actually see the dimension of the beginning of that root comb applicator is right there. So I can see myself using that, as well as that beautiful scrape through paint right there. Now, a lot of my papers look like this. They look like a mess. However, if I segment them out and kind of like put my hands into little squares, what would I actually use in a collage? I absolutely love this little piece right here. In fact, I can't imagine that I won't use that. Same thing with this. It's like a lot of overlapping elements. So even though a lot of my papers look kind of wild, like that, actually a lot of these look really wild. Like this are better. That's wild. I know I wouldn't use it all together, but I do like that little piece right there. So I'm looking for what parts of these papers would make a really effective collage element. So theoretically, all of these papers are usable in one way or the other, even though I may not like what they look like on the surface in terms of an entire design. I hope that you thoroughly enjoy making these, as I certainly did, and find creative ways to use these collage papers in your own artwork. To learn how to make many more types of collage papers, check out the links that are about to appear right here. And be sure to join my free 5-lesson online class, Collage Kickstart. The link to sign up is under the word "more" below. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would be deeply grateful if you would. And I'll see you here next week for another Tune In Tuesday.